Start recording.
Video surveillance for your car on a budget, with a front and rear unit from a company that is known for amazing build quality and performance. Is the new DDPAI Z40 that good? Let's inspect. Hey, welcome to the channel, Michael here, and such a pleasure to meet you and tell you everything I've experienced with the DDPAI Z40 model in the past weeks. A dash camera including a front and the rear unit with focus on safety and smart features. Sounds like a summary for most dash cameras from the past few months, and overall this has always been a priority for most car DVR makers. I've had the chance to use it in my car for some time now, and there are features which are indeed impressive. Some have been somewhat suboptimal, but generally I do feel it is on the bright side of the tech. Furthermore, DDPAI have one of the best smartphone apps ever, so there are a bunch of reasons why this dashcam is worth checking. Depending on the combo, price starts at $69 for the front unit only, without GPS, and price goes as high as $120 if you want to order a rear unit and the GPS module. The full pack is a little more expensive than similar 70Mi models, but remains a lot more attractive than other expensive brands like Blackview, Thinkware, and similar. Does it live up to the high expectations? Diving into the details, and we gotta find this out. So, unboxing. This is the third DDPAI model that I test in my life. In fact, a model I have received a few requests about, so no surprise I was as eager as you are for hands-on experience. You're seeing two boxes because the one on the left contains the main unit with the accessories, while the one on the right has the rear unit. Big stamp for the maximum resolution, 1944p, kind of useless in my opinion, and I'll tell you about this in a moment. A reminder about the option for parking surveillance and the hardware kit. So let's take things out one by one, shall we? Here's the main unit. Sticks to the car's windshield, has the configuration buttons, hosts the microSD slots and receives the GPS signal if that option is included, and has a nice display underneath this folio. Having tested the mini series, I was impressed by the build quality. It is not that remarkable with the Z40 model, but still feels good. It's just that you wouldn't get this premium feeling out of it. During the whole time I felt like I'm holding a 70Mi dash camera, maybe for the good reasons. Nice to see that the front lens is adjustable, giving you the chance to correct the angle depending on how your car's windshield is built. The rear unit is in here. You're gonna notice a few screen folios included. They need to be stick to the glass and you can stick the cameras on top of them. Makes the removal procedure much easier and faster, and I'm happy to see this getting a trend now in 2022. There are all the needed cables included, a car cigar light charger too, and the holder. Quick release mount is indeed a wonderful idea if you're fans of technical specs. I have of course collected the most important characteristics for you as well. Front unit with image sensor by Sony, namely the IMX335, a Sigma Star chipset, 140-degree field of view for the front lens with f/1.8 aperture, 125-degree field of view for the rear 2-megapixel camera and f/2.0 aperture, 128 megabytes inbuilt storage and a micro SD slot, GPS, gravity sensor, 2.4 gig Wi-Fi, supercapacitor and a 2-inch IPS screen. As you can already guess, configuration happens either using the buttons or by using the smartphone app. In a nutshell, very decent specs. I've never pointed to the lack of 4K in a dash camera as a disadvantage due to multiple reasons. In simple words, due to the smaller density in Full HD and 2K sensors, low light performance might be a lot better. Having a 5-megapixel sensor with this 1x2.8 inches surface and really wide open lens is quite an optimal choice in my opinion. As for the rest, focus seems to be on the safety, because there is a supercapacitor, meaning the dashcam is suitable for very hot areas where temperatures can reach really high values. Also, something quite interesting, there's inbuilt flash which can temporarily store data even if the microSD card fails, meaning that even in case of an accident or a failure, you're gonna be able to recover the last minute of footage only for the front unit though. Still a great idea. Before inspecting more footage, we have to install. As usual for DDPAI models, that's a very easy to fulfill task especially if you're not planning to use a parking mode, because all you have to do is take a moment and plan the configuration, think about placing the camera in an area which is not going to disturb you while you're driving. Also, make sure the lens is within the reach of the wipers, so that it can film through clean glass when there is rain or snow. The rest is easy. Screen folio, then sticking the module, and eventually adjusting. I simply adore the inbuilt installation guide. You can find details on the smartphone app and also graphs to perfectly frame the image from the display on the camera. This is indeed very useful, spares time and helps people without any experience with dash cameras to make close to a perfect installation. Even for a more advanced user like me, it's been quite fun and something to appreciate. Then you should find an easy way to get the cable down to the car's cigar lighter adapter and everything is set. If you have an extra rear unit, we do the same, just to the rear window, and that's gonna take a bit more time with finding a discrete path for the wires. Be creative. Really nice is the fact that the camera stays inside the car's interior. However, if you have a truck or coupe-styled car, it may not be a great option. For SUV cars or hatchbacks, quite a great feat indeed. If parking mode is desired, then go for a hot wire kit. I'm a fan of such. For the record, DDPAI Mini 3 is what my wife's car has been equipped with in the past 3 years, and it's been problem-free. Also, this DDPAI camera supports microSD cards. 64GB will be totally enough, but if you prefer more storage, greater sizes are compatible as well. When you power the engine on, here's the new greeting.
Hello, ding ding pai.
Oh, this is cute. Let's hear it again.
Hello, ding ding pai. Start recording.
Well, if you prefer to have it disabled, that's an option that you can do from the app menus. As for the rest of the configuration, yes, you can rely on the buttons, or I'm gonna show you the app in a moment. Here we come to the essence, the footage quality, because even if the user interface and the specs are good, if software is messed up, it's gonna be a disappointment. Well, luckily, it's not. The image sensor is fabulous, very good tuning and overall solid, really solid image quality. Daytime footage is superb, which is as expected. Low light is what you probably are more interested about. So, what do you think? A hit or a miss? By the way, I noticed that using the highest resolution, being 1944p, is rather useless because it only adds field of view on the top and the bottom side of the frame, which are anyways uninteresting, more like a waste of space, so I keep it fixed to 1920p. Sharpness, color, balance, bitrate, all of them are excellent. Of course, to support my words, I need to show you some evidence and real-life side-by-side comparison with a much more expensive model. Original footage has barely any differences, no matter daytime or low light performance. If we zoom in 4 or 5 times, here's how things compare. Don't forget that DDPAI's Z40 footage is 1080p only, while the black view camera is recording at 4K. Quite a nice surprise to see that Z40's footage is that close, even at a lower resolution. My favorite feature is definitely the smartphone app. I think DDPAI are way ahead of the competition with this awesome timeline selector, which makes experience similar to a surveillance DVR. So precise and so easy to use. You can select, extract and download the footage without unnecessary extra large files worth of footage. Fantastic graphs, gravity sensor analysis. At any point of time you can prove whether the car has been accelerating, braking or turning left or right, besides the accurate speed measuring thanks to the GPS of course. Right, so before giving it a verdict, fair to list the drawbacks. There is no ADAS, which some competitors offer, and I continue to not be convinced about its usefulness. There is no 5G Wi-Fi, meaning that transfer is according to the older, slower 2.4 GHz range specs, no voice controls, and some file reading issues on a PC, which are easy to overcome by downloading VLC Player. Oh, and I didn't like the button navigation, but that's just me, you may actually enjoy it. So in the end, this is yet another exceptionally good dash camera to use. Good hardware meets excellent software, focus on safety, and entirely temperature independent, because there are absolutely no batteries involved. Definitely a hit, and given the fact parking mode is well supported and working too, I'd favor this model over 70mice A800 and similar. Would you? Tell me, do you like the DDPAI Z40? Do you agree with my observations? And is there something else you would like to share in order to help the other viewers watching this video? Please head over to the comments and let's talk about all of this. In the meanwhile, link to the product and more info are as usual available in the description right below. I'm Michael, been a pleasure and warm wishes for good mood and safe driving, and see you soon in our next review coming. Bye!